Good evening. I'm calling to order the November 20th, 2025 action meeting of the Pennsbury School Board. Please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Pennsbury High School Junior ROTC, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the playing of the national anthem by the Charles Bain Players. And please remain standing after the anthem is played to observe a moment of silence in memory of Hazel Heilman, whose recent passing was unexpected. She served this community and the school district as a crossing guard for the past 12 years, protecting children as they made their way to and from school. Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Gorski, can you please do the roll call?
Certainly. Miss Ahrens.
Here.
Dr. Delwich.
Present.
Mr. Kinnan.
Here.
Miss Lambing.
Here.
Mrs. Palski.
Here.
Miss Petreco. Dr. Steer.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mr. Waldorf.
Present.
Miss Canabati.
Here.
Miss Gaffney.
Here.
Madam Board President, you have a quorum present this evening.
Thank you. This evening, in addition to a number of special recognitions, we have the long-awaited 2024 audit And I am looking forward to Dr. Ricci sharing the proposed updates to the program of studies for the middle and high schools. Our program of studies highlights the many opportunities Pennsbury students have to find their own path to success, whether their passion lies in the core subjects or in one of the many electives offered. There is something for everyone to get excited about learning. Before we move on, I would like to take a moment to set everyone's expectations on our board meetings. Our action meetings are broken into 3 sections, the first being the welcome, recognitions, and reports, followed by public comment. This is the time in which you, the members of the public, each have 5 minutes to address the board directly for up to a total of 90 minutes. After public comment is concluded, the business portion of the meeting follows. This is the board's time to discuss in the open the issues affecting the district and to take official action on agenda items. The board needs to be able to conduct district business during this period, and everyone in attendance needs to be able to hear everything that is happening. If members of the public have opinions or questions, please do not call out or disrupt the meeting. You may submit your opinions or questions to the board by email, letter, or by attending a future meeting. Anyone who disrupts the meeting may be required to leave. Thank you for your help in making this a productive, safe, and informative meeting. The board met in executive session this evening to discuss the following matters: 2 employment matters related to the employment of 2 administrators, an employment matter related to a disciplinary investigation regarding 4 employees, 2 items related to potential litigation, 1 involving student rights, and 1 involving a contractual issue, respectively. And litigation related to right to know matter. We will begin by recognizing the LIFT Character awardees. Mr. Sanderson, Mr. and Mrs. Cacciatore, if you could please come forward to present the awards.
Thank you, Dr. Steer. I missed my mindful minute today. I recently had hip replacement surgery, and I used, something always comes in handy. It was very good in the beginning for pain management. So thank you for sharing that. Tonight we are here to recognize this month's character asset, responsibility. The students receiving the LIFT Award for Responsibility always complete their task on time and without complaint, and encourage their peers to do the same. They follow direction, accept the results of their actions, and make every effort to do the right thing. They complete tasks without having to be asked multiple times or at all. Each nomination we received highlighted a student who exemplifies these traits on a daily basis, which made it very difficult to choose just 4. I'd like to thank the principals and staff members who took their time to nominate a student this month. I would now like to pass it over to Mr. and Mrs. Cacciatore. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanderson. Would each of our LIFT Award winners please come up and join us here? Oh, this side. This side. Connor Halligan is one of our winners, J.E. Lynn from Pennsbury High School, was unable to join us tonight and will be recognized at next month's board meeting. Connor Halligan is a fourth grade student at Afton Elementary School, was nominated by Julie Linkhorst, Jennifer Chango, Trish Bashar, Lori Goger, Evan Moyle, Christine Slota, and Ryan Sodano. They say that Connor is an exceptional student leader who consistently demonstrates the Afton Core 4 principles, especially responsibility. He begins each day with a positive attitude, greeting staff, following classroom procedures, and preparing for learning. In Mrs. Linkhurst's fourth grade class, he completes his works diligently, collaborates well during science investigations, and even serves as a AAC mentor, supporting students who use communication devices. Connor continues to shine throughout the school day, modeling safe and respectful behavior at dismissal, assisting younger students, and making bus duty smoother for staff. Across all special area classes, he shows responsibility by caring for materials, helping peers, staying prepared, and following expectations, which earned him recognition as a PE Student of the Month. His leadership extends to lunch and recess, where he shows kindness, patience, teamwork, and pride in keeping shared spaces clean. Connor's consistent responsibility, compassion, and strong work ethic make him a role model for the entire Afton community. Congratulations, Connor.
Moonsan Pauda is a fifth grade student at Manor Elementary School and was nominated by Dawn Tavarik, Carmela Bunch, Jessica Bray, and Patty Kropp. They shared that Moonsan is an outstanding student whose responsibility and leadership shine in everything she does. As a safety patrol front office announcer, she quickly mastered the dismissal process and carries out her duties with attentiveness, reliability, and a consistently positive attitude. She reports for duty every day, communicates proactively about schedule conflicts, and brings a friendly, calming presence to the busy front office. In the classroom, Moonsan shows maturity beyond her years. She takes initiative, helps classmates, and sets a strong example for her peers. Her teachers describe her as a true role model whose smile and kindness brighten the school community. In small group settings, she not only comes prepared, but also looks for ways to support others and improve her own work. Moonsan truly embodies responsibility. Congratulations, Moonsan. Lucia Jean Gillies is an 8th grade student at Charles Bain Middle School. She was nominated by Heather Bain and Heather Tresnan. They shared that Lucia is an exceptional student leader who demonstrates responsibility in every area of school life. As a member of student council, she ran a thoughtful campaign, earned her position, and has fulfilled her duties with dedication and care. She leads by example, helping run meetings, promoting inclusion, and taking initiative during events like the school-wide food drive, where she collected, sorted, and delivered donations. In the classroom, Lucia consistently completes assignments on time, checks in proactively when absent, and excels in group work by dividing tasks fairly and ensuring her team succeeds. She supports her classmates by explaining concepts clearly and asking meaningful questions that benefit the entire class. Teachers frequently praise her integrity and leadership, noting that she stays focused and encourages others to do the same. Lucia's willingness to help at school events, clean up without being asked, and model respectful behavior makes her a true role model and a deserving recipient of this award. Congratulations. All right, let's have one more round of applause to congratulate our Pennsbury Lift Award winners.
Congratulations, and thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Cacciatore and Mr. Sanderson, for your work in the Lift Awards. Tonight, we are recognizing 2 board members for their service. We'd like to start with recognizing Mr. Kanan, who has served the district as a school board director for 10 years to date, including time as president. I believe that there's a certificate from the state. And at this time, we would also like to recognize Ms. Petreco's service to the board as her term is coming to an end. Mr. Taylor, would you please read the resolution in honor of Ms. Petreco's service into the record?
Certainly. The board takes this opportunity to recognize Donna Petreco as she completes her term as a member of the Pennsbury Board of School Directors on November 20th, 2025. If the board is in agreement, the following resolution is in order. Whereas Donna Petreco was appointed to serve the Pennsbury School District as a board member from June 2024 to November 2025, and whereas she contributed her services, time, and expertise serving on the Board Education Committee and the Board Policy and Personnel Committee, and whereas she committed to making improvements to the Pennsbury High School campus, working towards a one-building campus, and whereas she supported ongoing facilities upgrades district-wide, and whereas she worked with the board and the administration to move the district forward through strategic planning, whereas she supported various district initiatives related to promoting mental health and wellness among Pennsbury students and staff, whereas she has fulfilled her responsibilities with courage, conviction, honor, and loyalty to Pennsbury, and whereas her regard for the importance of the education of all students and for the work of the board has been reflected in her efforts as school board director, and whereas we, the members of the Pennsbury School Board of Directors and the communities we represent, are pleased to acknowledge her contributions to education and to commend her service to this school district. Therefore, it is resolved that Donna Petreco be formally recognized with true appreciation and that best wishes be extended to her and all of her future endeavors. Further, it is resolved that this resolution be entered into the minutes of the regular November 20th, 2025 board meeting of the Pennsbury School Board of Directors, and that a copy be presented to Ms. Petreco.
Thank you. Next, we would like to recognize the generosity of Falls Township in supporting the Pennsbury Elementary PTOs by donating $13,000, half of the funds raised through this year's Touch a Truck event, distributed to the PTOs of our 10 elementary schools. Brian Andrews, Falls Township Parks and Recreation Director, is here tonight. Thank you. On behalf of the board and on behalf of the district and all of the children that these funds will help throughout the school year, thank you very much. As you may know, Pennsbury schools like to recognize Veterans Day. Some schools host special breakfasts. Others have special ceremonies to recognize the veterans in our community and to thank them for their service. And tonight, we would like to recognize those district employees who have served. Dr. Smith?
Sure. Thank you for this. We'd like to acknowledge first our veterans who work for the Pennsbury School District. Thank you for your service to your country, and thank you for your service to Pennsbury. I think everyone, as Dr. Steers said, noticed that Veterans Day is very important to Pennsbury. Several of our schools hosted Veterans Day breakfasts and special ceremonies. The events brought veterans into our buildings as honored guests and allowed them to hear our students to hear their stories and express their gratitude in person. These community celebrations continue to be a point of pride in Pennsbury. Our teachers also wove Veterans Day into classroom instruction. Students engaged in grade-appropriate lessons, story read-alouds, and discussions that helped them understand the history and the significance of that day. Many classrooms paired these lessons with creative projects, artwork, crafts, and posters to reflect the meaning of service. In addition, some classes extended their outreach beyond our community, writing letters to active duty military serving overseas. As the son of a veteran, I would like to thank our staff and families for helping create such a meaningful experience for our students. Most importantly, we extend our deepest thanks to the veterans and our Pennsbury community, whose service and sacrifice we honor not only on Veterans Day, but every day. Finally, tonight is as a result of a conversation that I had with a veteran during one of our recognitions, Mr. Patrick Hughes, who served. You will see an empty seat at the end of our dais. That is part of the Empty Chair Project and serves as a visual and ceremonial reminder of the unresolved status of over 80,000 POWs and MIAs and the loved ones who are searching for closure. This hopes to acknowledge that the freedom and service entail a cost, including those who never came home. So, in closing, I'd just like to thank all the members of the Pennsbury community who helped us celebrate our veterans and recognize the service that they made to making America the greatest country ever.
There was a lot to recognize this month. Next, we have our reports. Now we will hear from the student representatives from Charles Bayme. Will you please come forward to the table and share the exciting things that are happening at your school?
I'll go first, okay? All right. Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Claudia Adams, and I am honored to be here to present our Inclusive Pride Initiative. I am here alongside my esteemed colleagues, Virginia Ruther and Alyssa Sunday, as well as some of our outstanding students, Kayla Kelly, Riley Miculasco, and Jada Gaines. I'm going to now pass the microphone to Miss Riley Miculasco to share a little bit about our project. We really hope you enjoy.
Hello everybody, my name is Riley and I am a student at Charles Bay Middle School. We help you enjoy our projects on how we made our pride posters to have sentables on them so all students can feel included. Now please enjoy our video.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, members of the school board, administrators, and community partners. My name is Claudia Adams, and I am one of the autistic support teachers at Charles Bay Middle School, alongside Mrs. Virginia Ruther and Mrs. Alyssa Sunday. And I'm proud to share a project we have been working on since the beginning of the school year about how our school adapted our PBIS message, Pride, to ensure it reflects and includes all of our students.
Prepared.
Respectful.
Respectful. Determined. Determined. Excellent.
Our pride pillars, prepared, respectful, involved, determined, and excellent, are not just words on a poster. They represent how we live and learn together every day. When we looked at our PBIS system, we realized that some of our students, especially those who use augmentative and alternative communication, or AAC for short, or rely on symbol-supported visuals, could not fully access our pride message. So we asked ourselves, if pride is truly for everyone, how do we make it accessible to everyone? Here's how this project exemplifies each pillar of pride.
Prepared. We began by preparing our staff with training and resources to understand the communication needs of all learners. We reviewed our pride expectations and collaborated with speech and language pathologists to select picture symbols that match the vocabulary on our students' AAC devices. Every teacher and staff member was also given a miniature communication board to wear on their lanyard so that they're prepared to communicate with any student anywhere in the building.
Respectful. This project was built on the belief that communication is a basic human right. By adapting our posters with symbol-supported visuals, we show respect for each student's individual communication style. It sends a clear message that we value every voice, no matter how it's expressed. Involved. This was a team effort from the start. Classroom educators, special educators, speech-language pathologists, and paraprofessionals all working together to design and implement the new Pride visuals. Students even helped us identify which symbols made the most sense to them. Everyone had a role in making Pride something our whole school could connect with.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kate.
Welcome to our video today. We're
I-
acting to eat pancakes.
Okay, well.
Let's talk about determine. Change takes time and persistence. We were determined to make inclusion more than a buzzword. There were challenges selecting the right symbols, printing visuals for every area, and ensuring staff comfort with new tools, but our team stayed focused because we knew the outcome mattered very deeply to our students.
Yeah.
Excellent!
Finally, this project represents our commitment to excellence, not just in academics, but in community. When every student can understand and communicate our behavioral expectations, we create a stronger, more inclusive school culture. The feedback has been incredible. Students recognize the symbols on their AAC devices throughout the building and feel seen, included, and proud.
In short, our Pride message now lives up to its name. We are prepared to support every learner, respectful of all communication styles, involved as a united team, determined to make inclusion real, and committed to excellence in everything we do. Thank you for your time, for supporting initiatives that help all students find their voice and their place in our school community.
Thank you. That was amazing. Ms. Gaffney? Ms. Gaffney, do you have a report?
Yes, I do, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I do have quite a few things I'd like to talk about tonight, so please bear with me. On October 23rd, the high school drama troupe held its annual Thursday Night Live at the Cave at PHS West. This event, now 10 years strong, helps cover our costs for students attending the Pennsylvania State Thespian Festival. It features comedy sketches, musical performances, and gives students a chance to showcase their talents entertaining the community. The high school also participated in Red Ribbon Week from October 23rd to October 31st. The mission of Red Ribbon Week is to remind individuals that a drug-free lifestyle is a desirable goal. During this time, youth and adults pledged to increase awareness of the damage that drugs can do. Students learned about the history of Red Ribbon Week from classmates on the morning announcements, and all students were allowed to participate in a crossword puzzle related to the theme this year, Life is a Puzzle, Solve It Drug-Free. Congratulations to our two winners, Gabriella Killian and Luciana Ferry. On November 2nd, Pennsbury seniors Jocelyn Terry, Nola Flynn, Mia Wade, and Bridget McGonigal, celebrated winning the Pennsylvania State Rugby Sevens Championship with the Doylestown Rugby Academy. Congratulations to these talented athletes on their state title victory. On November 8th, our very own Long Orange Line traveled to Allentown to participate in the national championships. They competed against 4 other schools and placed second in their class, also winning 3 caption awards, Best Music, Best Visual, and Best Color Guard. Congratulations to them. The PHS cheerleaders traded their competition day for the sidelines as the annual Challenger game, celebrating inclusion and teamwork. Even though the team is known for its impressive stunts and performances, they focused on cheering for every athlete, sharing high fives, and creating moments of connection. Their spirit lit up the field, emphasizing that true victories come from joy and togetherness rather than scores or trophies. The PHS Choral Department is proud to announce that Ethan Manders, Sasha Cheeseman, Lauren Leonard, Katia Nerschel, Bennett Mary Bob, Michael Smith, and Nicholas Weaver have been selected for the prestigious ACDA Eastern Conference Honor Choirs. They will represent Pennsbury in Providence, Rhode Island in February. Congratulations. The famous Harlem Wizards are returning to Pennsbury on December 5th at 7 p.m., taking the stage at PHS East Gymnasium. This exciting event will feature the Wizards facing off against beloved Pennsbury teachers in an evening filled with entertainment, tricks, and of course basketball. All proceeds from this event will support the Pennsbury Education Foundation, which provides funding for classrooms mini grants aimed to enriching the curriculum for the students in Pennsbury. And lastly, as the winter weather is approaching, our fall sports are unfortunately coming to an end. I just wanted to give a big congrats to all of those sports teams. I've seen how hard they worked this season and all of their victories that they earned, so another congratulations to them. Although those fall sports are ending, our winter sports have already started and have been working very hard these past few weeks. Good luck to them on their upcoming season. This concludes my report for the evening. If you have any questions, I'm opening to answering any. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Kanabati, do you have a report?
Of course. Hi all and happy November. It's been a great couple of weeks and we look forward to the next couple of days before fall break. The past weeks, we've had a lot of big events up at the high school. After concluding the first marking period, we came back full swing to a busy fall schedule. Seniors recently submitted early action and early decision deadlines, and many began to hear back from local schools. Many of us were able to make use of the grading day for college tours, and I'm grateful to say that I made it down to St. Louis and back in time. In other news, Pennsbury Orchestra had a side-by-side rehearsal with 8th graders from all the middle schools. We played fun Christmas music and gave them some advice about high school. We also had the Hall of Fame induction during our 80-minute nest, where great Pennsbury alumnus were recognized for their work and legacy. In school activities, Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Staub faced off in the Athletes for Action faculty football game. More in football, Powder Puff approaches this upcoming Monday, where junior and senior girls will face off in flag football. Daily training has been taking place to prepare for this fun event. This brings me to our student sentiment report for the month, which we've received 240 responses. The first question is a follow-up to track data changes in reaction to Schoology. Compared with the first survey in September, the new survey shows more neutrality towards Schoology, but still low numbers of general positive sentiment. For the main part of the survey, we chose to cover opinions on the later start times. The first question asked if students felt less tired in the morning. In this section, 64.4% of students responded either neutrally or positively to the question. The second question asked if students' ability to focus improved due to later start times, with 39.7% indicating an improvement and 21.8% unsure of a change or seeing around the same level as last year. Finally, we asked about increased changes in transportation. For this question, 44% stated no increased ease or difficulty in their morning travels, while the other 56% split almost evenly between more easy and more difficult morning transportation. Overall, I think sentiment on later start times is on the more positive side of neutral. That concludes my board speech for tonight. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, thank you for your time and happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate.
Thank you.
Nivi, do you want to give an update on your path?
Sure. So I've submitted around 7 schools now, and I got my first acceptance from the University of Pittsburgh. So I'm excited about that, and then hopefully the next ones will be coming out in the next few months.
Wonderful. Dr. Smith?
All righty. So you've all seen this before. These are areas of focus that the district is focusing on for this year. I'd just like to shout out for a number of folks around this table who are involved in our comprehensive planning for the next 3 years, which will focus on these areas and how we can improve the district in a number of ways. Tonight, we're going to have some information regarding instruction, where Dr. Ritchie is going to present our program of studies for next year. And under the finance and facilities bucket, we're going to have our audit presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to have our auditor come up and ask Mr. Gorski to introduce him.
Thank you, Doctor. Welcome Carl Hogan, CPA, auditor from the firm of Clifton Larson Allen LLP.
So just for those of you who are following along as Carl gets seated, on tonight's agenda, the board is asked to approve the audit. This you received, and it is posted online for anybody who is interested. Carl's presentation is not intended. The Finance Committee had a more in-depth discussion regarding the audit. Tonight is really just a brief overview of where we stand.
I'll be brief tonight. Last week, I met with the Finance Committee. I think we went through the audit report pretty much in depth, answered any questions that anybody had. But I think first and foremost, I'm going to reiterate what I talked about at the Finance Committee. I want to sincerely apologize for the kind of what you got caught up in terms of the lateness of the audit report, the way I kind of put it in the Finance Committee meeting. In terms of, I was with the small regional firm that merged with the larger firm who turned around and sold me to another larger firm. So it created a lot of disruptions within my realm, within my clients, et cetera. It caused a lot of chaos in terms of people not getting the reports timely, et cetera. So I just want to make sure that the rest of the board members, the community know that a lot of the delays that were experienced in terms of the June 30th, 2024 audit were on this side of the table and not on your side of the table in relation to the audit. So now that I got that out of the way, we could go over the news of the audit. Overall, it's good news, and I'll be really brief in terms of the highlights. So you can get your 24-25 audit results. They'll be much more relevant at this point. So we got the first couple pages of the audit report are your independent auditor's report, and that's on pages 1 through 4. And the only thing I'm going to point out on this is basically the opinion paragraph on page 1 of the audit report, basically stating that the numbers that are being presented within the audit for the year ended June 30th, 2024 are fairly presented within the financial statements and posted on the agenda tonight. I'm going to go over some of the financial results really quickly. The first thing I'm going to kind of go over, obviously, is the general fund and how things ended up year over year in relation to budget. When the budget was put out, there was a balanced budget that was put out for the year ended June 30th, 2024, when you went through the budget process back in late June, May of 2024. Total budgeted amount was about $243 million. Revenues were about budgeted at $243 million, and expenditures as well. Actual revenues came in about $246 million for a positive $3.1 million. We kind of went over the reasons in terms of why those revenues were better than anticipated. But when you look at $3 million on top of $246 million, it was within very acceptable amount for budgeted amounts. Also, we come down below, and then we have your expenditures. Your expenditures came in a little bit higher than expected, about $245 million compared to $241 million for a negative variance of about $4 million. But once again, when you look at $4 million compared to $240 million, and then also you had some positive variances within what we call other financing sources uses because of the fact there was a planned transfer over to the capital reserve fund that wasn't made. When we take your actual revenues, $246 million, actual expenditures, approximately $245 million. You had about a $1 million addition to your end fund balance. Beginning of the year, your fund balance was about $19 million, ended up with $20 million at the end of the year at year in relation to your general fund balance. Also, some of the other things we talked about in relation to your audit, the school district has other funds. The biggest one otherwise from the general fund is your capital projects fund. There was a lot of major projects going on, especially in relation to the middle school that were encompassed within our audit. The district also has a debt service fund. They've had money that's put away, restricted for future debt service expenditures in terms of smoothing out those expenditures as you move forward. If you're going through the budget process and you need to smooth out, increases in any kind of debt service. So you have approximately $6 million there. And then the capital projects fund was primarily spent down as primarily the middle school project was being wound down. Just to kind of talk one more thing about the fund balance. The fund balance was approximately $20 million. The $20 million is within the 8% of what's allowed by the state. the state says you can have unassigned fund balance of 8% of your next year's expenditure budget, and the current $20 million of unassigned fund balance is within that parameters as set by the state of Pennsylvania. Also during our presentation at the Finance Committee, we talked about the current debt structure of the school district, what kind of debt was going to fall off in the future, and future plans for any kind of debt for the school district. And then finally, we want to talk about what kind of audit report you had. We had a clean audit report. We talked about also the financial results, and also we talked about any kind of recommendations or findings we had during our audit report. We went over our recommendation in relation to some of the bank reconciliations, and then Mr. Gorski chimed in about how they're improving those processes moving forward to 24-25. And that's as brief as I'm going to keep it. Just don't want to. But those are some of the highlights we talked about last week.
Thank you very much. Do any of the board members have questions for the auditor?
I did want for the general public to know that the audit and the summary are available on board docs for tonight's meeting, as well as for the Finance Committee if they're looking for that.
Thank you very much for both presentations.
Okay. Thank you.
Next up is Dr. Terry Ricci, who's going to go over our 26-27 school year program of studies. Take it away, Dr. Ricci.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start with middle school. We really don't have any programmatic changes at middle school at all. I just wanted to give the public some information about our program at middle school just to level set. So the first thing I just want to make sure, you're going to hear this again. I'm sorry if you hear this twice, but the Pennsylvania Department of Education has passed a mandate with regard to personal finance. And so that impacts our students in grades K all the way to 12. So at middle school, obviously it's going to be impacting our middle school programming to some extent. So just as an informational piece, students will need to take family and consumer science at least one time while they're in middle school, so 1 out of the 3 years, and that will cover the vast majority of the standards that we need to cover. In addition, specific 7th grade mathematics instruction and standards do overlap and cover the personal finance that we need to cover, as well as specific 8th grade social studies lessons. Our 8th grade social studies program is the middle U.S. history, so it covers capitalism and it covers things like the stock market crash. So there's a good connection to what those personal finance standards look like. Just for everyone's information, we're going to be holding high school curriculum showcases at our middle schools for our middle school students in the 4th block or the D period in December, about mid-December. So we'll be holding those showcases at each individual school so that students can visit. It's like a fair type of atmosphere so that students can visit and understand what courses are available to them before they make any programmatic decisions for their own elective course selection in January. In addition, we are planning for middle school elective showcases for our 5th grade students as well. The process for 5th grade transition is going to start a little bit sooner. We're looking to start that process in January or February to give students ample time to make some decisions regarding which elective areas they would like to participate in as they enter middle school. In addition, there will be there's always a parent transition evening, and we will incorporate some of those curricular activities as well. Okay, so like I said, there really are no programmatic changes at the middle school level, just some enhancements so that students understand what their options are. When it comes to high school, however, we do have some changes. So I already talked a little bit about the personal finance standards. I just want to give the community some information about this. This is the first time that the Pennsylvania Department of Education has mandated that on a high school transcript, a specific course is listed. And this is the course, the personal finance course. It needs to be a half-credit course, and it needs to be indicated on a student's transcript for any student who begins high school in the 2026 2027 school year. So it will start in the coming school year. This mandate is for all students, but obviously students in K to 8, or maybe it's not so obvious, don't have a transcript necessarily. It's not an official transcript, so it's a little bit different. But at the K to 8 level, the bands are broken up by K to 2, 3 to 5, and 6 to 8. That means that at some point in K to 2, those standards that are listed by the Pennsylvania Department of Education need to be met. So that means that instruction needs to be provided in some capacity. I just want to make sure everybody understands that in some ways these are very deep standards, and in some ways they're not as deep. So all Pennsbury High School students, as a result of this personal finance mandate, will be mandated to take a course called Personal Finance. And that will occur in their freshman year. So all ninth graders will begin their ninth grade year. They'll begin high school. All of our ninth graders will start by having a ninth grade seminar course that will meet every other day for the first semester, and then every other day in the second semester, it'll be a personal finance course. So we hope to capture some of the other items that we know high school students need, such as career planning, understanding ways to communicate, understanding relationships, things like that. And then in the second part of the school year is when we'll cover those personal finance standards. So students will take that course every other day, coupled with either PE, or if they're music students, they'll take it with music, and then they'll have PE as a semester-long course. PE is also a mandated course at Pennsbury High School for ninth graders. So our new course proposals are listed. As you can see, it might be difficult to see, so I'll just read the names of the courses. There's some information that goes with this, but the first one is Digital Visual Arts. It's going to be offered to students in grades 9 through 12. Art Making Around the World, 9 through 12. AI and art will not be offered next year. This will be offered every other year starting in 2027. AP Business Principles. This is a really interesting course. This is open to students in grades 10 through 12. This is really interesting because when you hear AP, you think about college-bound students, but this particular course is a little bit different. This course is actually geared to students who might not be college-bound, who might be interested in entering the workforce or starting a business of their own. So the project, it's not like a typical AP exam like you would think of in a typical course. There's a project, and the project is really about entrepreneurship and building one's own business. So as a result of that description, you probably can tell that it doesn't meet the personal finance requirements that are put forth by the state. So it's really about entrepreneurship, building business, and having business sense. So this course would be open to students who are college-bound as well as students who are not. But this is the first course that we are offering at Pennsbury High School that really fits that model. The next course is the Bucks County Community College Firefighter course. This is also really unique. This is a 4-credit course where students would leave Pennsbury High School and they would go onto the campus of Bucks County Community College, the one located in Bristol, and they would do some coursework there. So they would spend half their day at Pennsbury High School and the other half, and this is for a full year. So that's why it's a 4-credit course. The next is a culinary internship. So this is an internship with the nutrition group who provides our food service in the Pennsbury School District. Video production 2, which is new, we've only ever had video production 1. Unified physical education, which has an honors section as well. AP human geography. And again, this is a course that's really interesting as well because it's an entry point. The College Board has designed this course to kind of be like an entry point for students who might be interested in taking AP courses throughout their high school career. And then we have the Global Connections, Culture, Travel, and Digital Information. And this is really meant for students who have exhausted all of their world language courses or may not be interested in higher level language courses, but might be interested in learning more about the other aspects of world culture. And then the last course is Applied Health Sciences. This is a course that we are currently planning, and it is going to be a requirement for a future pathway where students can opt to participate in a pathway for anyone interested in the medical field at any capacity. So this is a hands-on applied science course. Other course changes are listed here. I'm sorry, this is very detailed, but I know that for some people this is very important, so I just want to make sure that I run through them. Video production 1 and 2 will offer hybrid, which means that it'll be offered at both the academic and the honors level, and will be open to students in grade 9 for the first time next year. PE, swim, and aquatics are going to be offered every other year. AP research will be offered in the fall only. What we're finding is that students have a deadline to submit their projects about say like April. So they don't really have enough time to start their project in the spring. So that's why the course is being moved to the fall. Human anatomy and physiology will also offer a hybrid, which means that they'll offer an honors option. Calculus honors will be replaced with both academic and AP calculus. And World History 1 honors now has a pre-AP World History and an AP Human Geography. So students in 9th grade will have a number of other options to take as well as their World History course. We do also have, this is very exciting for some of our students. This will be the first year, the 25-26 school year is the first year that students can earn an AP capstone diploma at Pennsbury High School because it's the first year we're offering AP research. So this is a really interesting program. The College Board will recognize students who earn a 3 or better on the exam, or if it's a project or a paper or an assessment, in their APs. They have to take AP seminar, which is a 10th grade course, AP research, which can be taken in 10th or in 11th or 12th grade, and then they must also take 4 additional AP courses and earn a 3 or better on the final assessment or on the exam. The College Board will recognize students with a diploma, and Pennsbury will recognize students with either a tassel or a sash at graduation. I'm starting to lean toward a sash because I think it's more pronounced. I just want to remind our community that we do have a really robust dual enrollment program. Dual enrollment means that students can earn college credit while they're in a high school course. So we've expanded this program greatly over the course of the past several years. This year will be the greatest expansion we've seen thus far. These are the courses offered by Gwynedd Mercy. A lot of these courses are really like in our business, computer, and information technology department. And then Bucks County Community College has some dual enrollment programs, and there's some really interesting ones here, like International Cuisine, which is also a dual enrollment program. Life and Health is another one, and that's offered through our PE and Health department. So really interesting courses that really put a twist on what typically high schools will offer in a dual enrollment program. So I just wanted to highlight those. And then we have dual enrollment with the College of New Jersey, and you can see that there's a myriad of courses. They are generally all of our AP courses. There are some exceptions, like AP Pre-Calculus, because Pre-Calculus is not a course that's taught at the College of New Jersey. They teach calculus. So some of the courses are not going to be dual enrolled because those courses are simply not offered at the College of New Jersey, but the vast majority of them are. So we're really excited about this. Students at the College of New Jersey earn 4 credits. At Bucks County Community College and at Gwynedd Mercy University, it's 3. So any student that's interested in this has the opportunity to sign up right in class, and there's all the things that they need they'll learn about once they get to class. And so really exciting. It's something that I really encourage people to look into. It's a really fantastic way to do some career planning, to do some planning in advance, and to save some very significant amounts of money versus taking these courses at the college level after graduation. And then I just also want to remind our community that we do have virtual asynchronous courses available to students if they're interested in taking this up front. This means that they can take some courses in person, and then they can take some courses virtually if they're interested in doing that. The current courses that are offered are listed here. They range from grades 9 through 12. Admittedly, there is really only one option for 9th graders, but And that's the adulting course, which is not going to run in the 26-27 school year, so we'll replace that. But I just want to identify that, this is also an option for students. It certainly isn't mandatory, but it is an option for students who are looking to do internships or who might volunteer. Like we have a student who reached out, very interested in volunteering in a hospital setting, but would need to miss a certain period each day. So this allows for the student to take that course of study and also to volunteer her time. So this is a good complement to a lot of our high school student schedules. And to be quite frank with you, many colleges and universities are also leaning in the direction of offering these virtual asynchronous courses so that students at the college level can do interning and can work and take care of those other responsibilities. So if approved, the program of studies will be published and available online. We also do print some hard copies for anybody who needs one. The fifth to seventh grade students will begin the process of selecting their electives in early spring. Eighth grade students will begin the process right after winter break. So those meetings with eighth graders will begin as soon as winter break is over. It's like that first week of January. 9th to 11th grade students, obviously 12th grade students aren't picking courses for next year. They'll be provided with directions, and any changes will be highlighted for them as we begin the second semester. And I will be doing an information session with all of our high school teachers and our counselors at the middle school level and the high school level, so they have an understanding of what courses are offered and how courses look different than they did in previous years. All high school students will complete their course selection process online. That concludes my presentation. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I just want to thank you for not only providing academic courses for college-bound, but a variety of other career jobs for kids who may not be college-bound. So thank you for that.
Of course.
I had one question. I hope it's not taken too snarky, but how does virtual asynchronous PE work?
So students will participate in physical activity, and they have a means to report that back to their PE teacher. So for example, they may do so using a device like an Apple Watch. We also do have devices available to students who may not own an Apple Watch or a device that they can use, and they can borrow it for the time period in which they're in that course. So there's a requirement to participate in that virtual. They do these activities. They don't do the activities virtually. They do the activities on their own, and then they report back in a log form or in some other capacity so that there's evidence. Many students do send in videos, believe it or not. That is one of the ways. That's probably the most popular way. And they're given like a course of study so they know what to follow.
My other question is, one of my favorite topics is world languages.
Yes, I do.
Right. And right now, we have just 3 that we offer, or we have more?
We will offer Mandarin Chinese as well. So it's Spanish, French, and German, and then Mandarin Chinese. To be frank with you, we haven't run Mandarin Chinese for years, but we do offer it in our program of studies. But interest in the course is very low, so we haven't run it.
Okay, well, I was unaware that we had it in our course of study, so I'm delighted to hear that. So again, in regard to putting these together, obviously there's a lot of time and energy put in, and I don't know if it's through the comprehensive plan or it's done elsewhere. So how do these courses and these ideas bubble up and move from an idea into being in the
So like an
course of
idea for a
study?
new course or a program? Okay. So generally what we are focused in on is focused in on what the kids need. So we are very closely aligned for students who are college bound, for example, with what we know colleges and universities are looking for as far as credits go. As far as courses that apply the correct level of rigor or apply the correct standards and things like that. So that's the biggest place where we make decisions about like what courses do we need to offer. The other piece of that is any college career readiness that we are very attuned to at this point, because we know that so many of our students are seeking an opportunity that's not related to college when they graduate from high school. So for example, that applied health course was rooted in students providing me and Dr. Smith and Dr. Brown some feedback in our post-high school sessions, which we do right before the holiday break every year with students who have recently graduated, and they provide us with feedback. And their feedback was, I really wanted to go into the medical field, and there really wasn't a lot of option for me. And if you look around the county, it's difficult to find a course like that because it takes a lot of, it's very different. It's very innovative. It takes a very specific, program to kind of hit those needs because it's so hands-on. So we take ideas rooted in what students need, rooted in what we know the workforce is asking for, and we know the college and university realm is asking for. And then sometimes we just know from experience whether students just don't enroll in some of our courses, that it might be time to put them to bed and to consider something new or something different. With AI right now and the digital age, we're really starting to see a very different look on things like graphic arts and some of our other courses, so like media courses and stuff. So we're looking, like we've gone to a podcasting course because we know that that's something that students are interested in, and it's a skill that can help them in the future.
In regard to career, we have created over the past couple years pathways which can be found on our website.
Okay, so it's called Falcon Pathways, and in the past, it's been in our program of studies, and it's been like a paper version, like I am interested in becoming a teacher. So these are the courses of study that I should consider, and it's just like listed, and it's pretty static. But this school year, I'm going to give credit to Mr. Schwind. He is our supervisor of career and technical education. He, alongside with one of our assistants here at Central Office, her name is Stephanie Lee, have put together a dynamic interactive tool for the first time. And that I'm going to showcase at our Board Education Committee next month. Actually, Mr. Schwind is going to showcase it at our Board Education Committee next month. So I alluded to the program of studies being an online program. There's going to be a link right in the program of studies, and then on our counseling website. So there'll be a link there for any students who are interested in looking at that. And what we hope to do with that is sort of to track data on how many students are using the tool, what courses of study students are interested in, so we can track that data. It doesn't collect anybody's name, so that part is anonymous. It's just really about tracking the interest levels that students have and understanding how many students are using the tool.
And not to put you on the spot, but can you list the pathways that you know them off the top of your head? I apologize. If you don't, it's okay.
That's okay. So there's a humanities pathway, there's a sciences pathway, there's a business pathway, there's a pathway for like culinary and those careers. So it's really like based in careers, and it's those kinds of like pillars is how they're addressed.
And you and I have talked, I really encourage that for our middle school students to be aware that those exist before as they make decisions, that they're aware of those. So thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Dr. Ritchie. All right, moving on. Some just quick updates as I wrap up the high school project update. So what's next? On December 4th, our architect will present the final design, the timeline, and construction plans for the new high school. That is right after our reorg, so the board will have a reorg meeting, and then we'll switch right to a high school update for the community. That'll take place in this room on December 4th. So folks are aware, calling all of our contractors as part of the high school project. We are looking to identify qualified contractors for the high school project. This is available on our website. It's also been advertised in local media and also on all pertinent construction advertisement pages with that. So that concludes my presentation with two quick reminders. There was an email that went out, and it's also on our website, is the Staff Member of the Year nomination forms. They are open, and also the grade report portal is now open. Parents, and family members, check your email for details on how to access your child's grades. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Dr. Ricci? And I think our auditor has left. Next up, Mr. Taylor, do you have a Bucks County Technical High School Joint Board Report?
I do. The Bucks County Technical High School Board met on October 27th. The board also received its audit for the fiscal year ending 2024. This audit report came back clean as well. The date has been set for the school's graduation. It'll be held again at the Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton, New Jersey, and it'll begin at 6:30 p.m. on June 11th. We're excited to have hired a new executive director, Mr. Mark Holtzman. Mr. Holtzman is our current assistant director, and he has done exceptional work in that role. Our next meeting is this Monday at the Technical High School, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Mr. Waldorf, do you have a Bucks County Intermediate Board report?
I do. The Bucks County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors met on Tuesday, November 18th. We were at Pearl Buck School, which is the newest Bucks County Intermediate Unit building. It's right behind the Target, if you're familiar on Old Veterans Highway there. It opened in September this year, has 25 classrooms for intensive emotional support and autistic support, and which is one thing that's remarkable is that they're almost full in regard to the number of slots they have, and it is it's thriving over there. It's beautiful what they've done to make it a wonderful learning environment there. We had 3 mini reports. We obviously toured Pearl Buck, which I just mentioned. We had professional learning support for non-public schools. The Bucks County Intermediate Unit supports 36 non-public schools in Bucks County with professional learning and coaching initiatives. And since the start of the year, 85 teachers and by extension, 1,700 students have benefited from the programs, and some of the programs are building executive functioning for student success, elevating education, engaging strategies across content areas, the balanced classroom, building emotional regulation, and executive functioning and resilience. I apologize, I don't know what OTIS stands for, but for educators, technology integration in the classroom, and then a teacher collaborative course. We also had a presentation from the marketing team. They posted last year over 900 media posts. They maintained 3 websites, including the Bucks County Intermediate Unit Arts on the Move in Bucks County and BucksCountyEducation.com. This week is actually Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. On the legal legislative report, the state and federal budgets, as you all know, impasses are over. Bucks County Intermediate Unit led many of the county efforts to lobby legislatures to get that done. There are some new things people should be aware of. New school and safety security policies went into effect, which means that now all schools have to, at the building level, have to have quarterly meetings, and then the school safety coordinator has to have a minimum of 7 hours of training annually. There's $100 million been made available for school safety and security grants. Every school district is entitled to minimum of $100,000. The grant application process is opening within this time frame before the end of the year, so I would encourage the administration to look into that. There was a cyber charter reform in terms of calculating the per pupil costs. So over the next couple of years, we should see hopefully a reduction in those costs. School districts are now going to be required to accept cash at all events, or at least have someone on site to teach people how to use the online feature. Instructional certifications rules have changed. They seem very, and then structured reading is now required in Pennsylvania. Next year, most likely, there'll be statewide cell phone policy for all school districts to follow. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Waldorf. Okay, Mrs. Lambing, do you have an Education Committee report?
I do. The Education Committee met on October 23rd, and we had a couple of discussion items and presentations to start. A Pennsbury High School student in the AP research class, which Dr. Ricci talked about earlier, proposed a research study to be conducted with staff members. The research focuses on examining the correlation between education level, age, and how these factors influence user interaction and trust levels with AI. The proposal includes a survey to a Pennsbury High School staff and 10 to 15 interviews with staff members. So you can see that the student will need time to process that information to have it submitted by April. Item B was the ETS Research Institute Partnership Update. ETS reconnected with Pennsbury regarding resuming this research project, which was previously approved for 8th grade mathematics district-wide. How can we create more effective classroom assessments that reflect our students' diverse backgrounds and interests, thereby effectively engaging all students? If effective, the district will be provided with this tool for 5 years for all teachers. Bursu Arslan of ETS presented the proposed study remotely and included detailed information regarding the timeline and process. The following items are in Section 5 for consideration and approval this evening. A, the secondary program of studies. Dave Schwind, supervisor of the Career and Technical Education program, conducted a presentation to highlight the changes to the middle school and high school program proposed for the 26-27 school year. The program of studies at each level incorporates all program details and allows for a starting point in the course selection process for all students in grades 5 through 11. New high school courses, as well as changes to the program of studies, were highlighted. An area of focus was on meeting the financial literacy standards. A new proposed mandate for course for all 9th graders, which will be a full-year course every other day, being proposed. Additionally, all middle school students will need to elect family and consumer science in either 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. No other changes to the middle school schedule are proposed. Item B is the Boardwalk Basketball Classic, a request for the Pennsbury High School basketball team to participate in this tournament over winter break. Item C is the SAS Institute 2025, a request for 7 members of the administrative and professional team to attend state SAS. Item D, our legal services consultation agreement renewal. It's a request for the district to approve services to Sweet, Stevens, Katz & Williams LLP to provide our district with legal services and training for the 25-26 school year. And item E is the AASA National Conference on Education, a request for 1 employee to attend the National School Superintendent's Conference this February 11th through the 14th, 2026. Our next Board Education Committee is a bit of a change. It's this coming Tuesday, November 25th at 4 p.m. at Charles Bain. That's all for this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Laming. Mrs. Polsky, do you have the Facilities Committee report?
Yes, ma'am. The Facilities Committee met on Thursday, November 6th at the Charles Bain Middle School. CHA Dewey Consulting provided a capital projects update presentation, which included an update of the Charles Bain Middle School renovations, Pennsbury High School Stadium second synthetic turf field project, and administration server room upgrade project. Charles Bain Middle School Phase 5 auditorium is complete. Yay! A small list of punch list items has been issued and are scheduled to be completed over the Thanksgiving break. Also, the concrete replacement to be completed at the parent drop-off will be done between November 25th and 26th. We had an excited ribbon-cutting ceremony to welcome the Bain community into their new auditorium. The second synthetic turf field light poles are installed. Conduits and underground wiring are in progress. Final grading, seeding, paving, and fencing to be completed by the end of November, with final completion on December 5th. Work is wrapping up with the administration server room upgrade. Project with the remaining server room finishes to be completed after the migration to new server racks over the winter break. A pre-bid meeting for the Quarry Hill Elementary School playground rebid occurred on November 12th, with bids scheduled to be received on November 18th. Mr. Strohacker of KCBA Architects delivered an update on project progress and meetings held with consultants and district administration. Project schedule timelines were presented along with the anticipated construction start and completion timeframe. Construction documents are complete and the land development process continues. KCBA has met with Falls Township code officials regarding the new high school project and went over the project code drawings, and everything went well. Next steps are a quality control review of the construction documents and resubmission to Bristol Township. Action items 6A through 6F are being sent to the full board tonight for their consideration and approval. Our next facilities meeting is on Thursday, December 4th at 5 p.m. at the Charles Bay Middle School. And thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Polsky. Mr. Waldorf, do you have the Finance and Partnership Committee report?
Dr. Steer, I do. The committee met on November 13th, 2025. As you heard, we had a presentation on the 23-24 audit. Mike Gorski shared with us the DCED application to allow us to sell bonds when the market conditions are right, which was approved last in the spring. The following are for the board's consideration tonight. 7A, approval of financials. 7B, approval of bills pending. 7C, which I believe we're pulling out for a separate vote, is a donation from the Chip Taylor and family. Move to accept a $500 donation from Chip Taylor and family for the Oxford Valley Elementary School garden, accepted with appreciation. 7D, the Walt and Lily Disney Foundation donation to Walt Disney Elementary School. Again, this is our 70th anniversary. To move to accept the donation of $40,000 from the foundation with appreciation. This is a donation that will be $50,000 for the year. Traditionally, in the past, it's been $10,000 annually, and the foundation has also agreed to fund the repair of all the seats in the auditorium. Special thanks to Principal Ryan Kennedy for his efforts in securing this annual donation. 7E, Bucks County Intermediate Homestead Farmstead District Agreement. Move to approve agreement with Bucks County Intermediate Unit to mail homestead exclusion notices at a cost of $1.07 or 0.78 cents, which is an increase of 17.2 from last year. 7F, bumper jacks. Move to approve the purchase of 2 portable air end lift from Gray Manufacturing to replace aging lifts at a cost of $14,798. 7G, professional services from eFinance Plus. Move to approve training services for Finance Department from Power School Group, January to March 2026 at a cost of $487.80, which will cover training and travel expenses. 7H is the audit report for the year-end June 30th, 2024. Move to approve the audit report. 7I, I, move to approve the PPO and Prescription Drug Administrative Services Agreement with IBC effective August 1st, 2025. 7J, Appraisal Services, move to approve Valbridge Property Advisors to appraise market value of the property located at 135 Trenton Road, Fairless Hills, for tax years 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 at a cost not to exceed $11,900. 7K, Appraisal Services, to move to approve Valbridge Property Advisors to appraise market value of property located at 549 West Trenton Avenue, Morrisville, as of the tax years 24, 25, and 26 at a cost not to exceed $7,000. 7L, approve out-of-placement addendum for 2025-26. Move to approve the updated tuition information from Davidson for up to 5 students at a rate not to exceed tuition of $426.42 a day per student. For services beyond the 7-hour day, an additional $272.42 per day. There's also part of the agreement is $38.92 per hour for anything beyond a 7-hour workday for each one-on-one, and $435.72 per day for one-on-one with a registered behavioral technician. Pennsbury School District will apply for a PDE 4010 slots to reduce the tuition by 60%. 7M, purchase of Gator utility vehicle. Move to approve the purchase from Robert E. Little of new fully equipped Gator for security staff at a cost of $36,954.02. 7N, RFP professional services contract for architect of record. Move to authorize the district administration to solicit bids for architectural services to appoint an architect of record. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Waldorf. Dr. Delwich, do you have a Policy and Personnel Committee report?
Yes, I do. The Policy and Personnel Committee met on November 13th at 4:30 p.m. During this time, the board went into executive session to discuss employment of an administrator and the possible discipline of a bargaining unit member. The committee discussed the development of policies to better delineate the responsibility for installation and maintenance of donated landscaping items, a second read of updates to the policy for the building and grounds usage fee schedule, and lastly, the development of a school cell phone policy for the middle schools and high school. All these policies remain in committee for additional development, and no actions are requested from the board at this time. The personnel portion of the meeting has 5 items for the board to consider. Items 9A and B are routine, professional, and classified personnel items as delineated in the attachments online. Both are recommended for approval by administration. Item 9C, which is recommended for approval by the committee, will revise the cost for the VRC personnel files digitization project, raises it to a total of $4,850 to allow for this archive management project to proceed as planned. Our initial estimate ended up being a little too low for the scope of the work. Item 9D is also recommended for approval by the committee. This contract with School Wellbeing Solutions will allow for professional development services to support new and current school leaders in their development. Lastly, item 9E will approve the agreement between the district and the BCIU to provide the district with business office services, and is recommended by the committee to ensure continuity of financial operations during personnel transition. The next meeting will be on December 11th at 4:30 p.m. at Charles Fame, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Delwich. Mrs. Polsky, do you have a Wellness Committee report?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Steer. The Wellness Committee met on Thursday, November 6th. At the meeting, the committee was joined, we were very excited, by the Pennsbury High School cheering coach, Miss Nicole Lawrence, and her senior captains, who shared information about the community service initiatives that these student athletes participate in the local community and beyond. The committee then entered into discussion about cell phones in school and has begun to develop policy recommendations for the school district policy about the use of cell phones in instructional spaces. The committee discussed policies from other districts as well as current practices across our district. Next month, we will share our recommendations with the policy committee for consideration. Finally, for approval tonight, we have one action item, which would be 10A. You're asked to approve the agreement with Pure Echo Wellness Salon and Spa for the purposes of staff wellness initiatives for the 25-26 school year. Our next meeting will be held on December 4th at 4 p.m. at the Charles Bay Middle School, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bosky. Next, we have public comment. As I stated at the start, this is your time to directly address the board, uninterrupted by the board, the administration, or the audience. Up to 90 minutes are provided as an opportunity for community stakeholders and others to comment on the agenda and non-agenda items. Speakers should have signed up on the appropriate sign-in sheets. Each speaker will have 5 minutes to address the board. If you are speaking, please state your name and your municipality to begin. And if you are commenting on behalf of a company or organization, please state the name of the organization and that you are speaking on their behalf. Speakers may not cede their 5 minutes to any other persons. I will call each speaker to the microphone in the order that they have signed in. Please note that the board will neither answer questions during your period of public comment nor engage in any dialogue. This ensures that you receive your entire 5 minutes of public comment and that the meeting proceeds in an orderly fashion. Your questions and comments will be taken into consideration by the board and may be addressed at a future time. It is our expectation that individuals will not be interrupted by others in the audience during their 5-minute period. We ask that meeting attendees respect each person's time for public comment and not interrupt in any manner. I am opening public comment at 8:59 p.m. And the first speaker is Mr. Wayne Bell.
Our leader. Before I begin, Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Boyce, I like what you left at my house. I'm going to hold you to it because I'm going to put it underneath my pillow. Zig Ziglar, a motivational speaker, said, if you learn from defeat, you have never lost. Silence is violence. Silence is golden. Silence protects systems of the economy. First and Falls is a town that knows everything but knows nothing. Then a song wandered between my big beautiful ears by John Nash, 1972. Here's a few words from that song. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. Unions run this Falls Township. Leaders cannot let this place become an economy of silence, sink like other Pennsylvania townships. All other townships have the same pattern. Spend more, tax more. Then pretend it is compassion, need for K through 12, all for equity, power, influence, and resources, pain and suffering for political gain, all for one, one for all, no matter who has a clue. This brings me to the cuckoo bird relationship. Did you know the cuckoo bird don't build their own nest or raise their young chicks? Instead, these brood parasites lay their eggs in nests of other birds. Any host chicks or eggs get pushed out of the nest to die by the cuckoo chick. Now the host bird unknowingly feeds the cuckoo chick, raising this bird as its own. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Yoga is worship. Learn about the actual ancient science of yoga. Yoga is to yoke. Essentially, you cannot separate Hinduism from yoga, and you cannot separate yoga from Hinduism. All the worship, all the liberal positions in yoga are worship liberal positions of Hindu deities. So in all these years of practicing yoga, you are actually bowing down and giving yourself up to the different lords and these different gods. Cuckoo, cuckoo. For generations, Pennsylvania was seen as a refuge, a place of quiet affordability, a practical alternative to its expensive coastal neighbors, New Jersey. But in 2025 and beyond, that comforting myth is now being violently shattered across the Keystone Corner state. A deep, dark reality has emerged, a housing market that is not only challenging but actively unhealthy and hostile to anyone looking to purchase a home in Pennsylvania. Pennsbury School District. This is not about a home price. This is about a toxic mix of sluggish economy, low technology, old infrastructure, old buildings, old people with outdated regulations. As a result, this complex commercial market is punishing property taxes that refuse to fall in First and Falls Township. This pervasive psychological Pennsbury property tax at 84% brings a sense of emotional intelligence decline that's turning a home purchase into a financial and personal tax trap. The buy is not only acquiring a clean, cancer-free, random-free property, but there also is inheriting a host of generational problems that will cost them peace of mind and their entire investment. We gotta, I really appreciate everything everyone has said. You need to include nuclear as well as technology in all of your programming.
Thank you.
You don't want only them to be blue-collar workers.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Can you state your municipality, please?
Falls Township
Thank you.
or Levittown.
Next is Jen Metzger.
Hi, everybody. Jennifer Metzger, Falls Township. Happy Thanksgiving before I forget. Got a couple of questions. So, let's see. Delwich, I think you were talking about 9C, VRC personnel files digitization for the cost. There was a problem with what you budgeted versus what's actual. But what was the amount? So all of our businesses have gone digital years ago. Not sure why it took this long now for you guys to get to that. I'm sure we'll overpay for it. Quarry Hill Elementary School project, Powski, facilities. So you guys posted at this time that you're gonna pass it for the new playground and for the demolition. But on both 6E and 6F, you only have the handwritten bids for taking the playground down. You don't have anything for putting it up. I happen to know what the amounts were because I was at the meeting 2 months ago when you talked about it, but not at the update this last meeting, and you have no details on it at all. Under 710.C for Sunshine Act, my understanding is you have to post it. So we know what you're going to spend for the new playground and what the details are, but you have no details listed. Oh, congratulations on your win, Palski. I would have liked to have seen either one of you ladies actually campaign at all. I don't know if you realize, but the point is to put money into the community and to actually talk about the issues that we have in the community. You know, like actually pretend that you're here because you care, not just put all of the volunteer hours in to Tikkun Olam, right? Repair the world. But do you remember why you're here? Planning Commission, Tuesday, November 25th, 7 p.m. for Falls Township. It's at the Middletown Building. Pennsbury is on the agenda again, but I'm not sure for what. And apparently you guys aren't going to tell us until December 4th with the new architect plans. But I'm glad you at least intend to give us that much information because we still haven't gotten any responses to the Act 34 hearing. So we're all still kind of waiting as a community here. Are you done? Are you not done? How are things going? What are the answers to all of our questions? Nothing's posted, nothing's communicated. The presentation, I mean, we don't have to keep harping on it. It really wasn't a presentation. It kind of ranked up there with the audit presentation tonight. I don't know about you, but I've worked in professional services for a long time, and you don't give excuses to all the clients. We didn't need to know why it took 2 years to get audits and statements and all the things out. It's totally inappropriate for us to know. You guys needed to take care of that. The proposal acceptances that the board is talking about for 7J and 7K, these appraisal services, we're paying because Pennsbury is the one that assesses the properties for the real estate taxes, because you guys are the ones that are charging us more than 84% for our taxes. So we're not paying it to our county, we're not paying it to our township, we are paying it to the school board. How are you still on Charles Bame and the second turf? It's actually a second stadium. You guys have put up 75-foot tall lights. You guys have sidewalks that are in asphalt but not concrete, so it looks really horrible. You didn't put up anything for acoustics to keep the sound in, so people in Birch Valley and in Vermilion Hills, a mile and a half away, all hear it. I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed with seeing, you know, the new laws on standardized testing. I don't even know that you've had a chance to look at Shapiro's stuff, but he's wholly embarrassed, obviously, on our standardized testing results throughout the state of Pennsylvania. So at this point, you guys have cut reliance on requiring it under the law, but if you look through Dr. Ricci's 96-page document that she put up for us for all of the classes that are available and all the details for the school, in there, it's very clear that standardized testing is extremely important and why it is that it's relied on and why it is that the teachers need the results right away. But yet, state doesn't agree with you. One of the things that I'm really concerned about in this area, and I don't understand, one of the things that I was talking about a couple minutes ago with you, Palski, was there are 800 homeless kids in Bucks County, and the problem that we're having is the school is not doing the best with scholastics. You're not doing the best in spending all this money on facilities, but really not helping the kids, and you're not doing anything to help the BCIU.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Alan Barth.
Alan Barth, Lower Makefield. So I've been in communication with Dr. Smith for about the past month, just trying to get some clarification on Title IX as it currently sits with the Department of Education at the federal level trying to understand if Pennsbury is in fact in compliance. There have been some changes, it's not clear, but I can't get a clear answer. Either we're in compliance or we're not. Yes or no. So the first response I got from Dr. Smith was, regarding Pennsbury's compliance with recent Title IX requirements, Pennsbury School District takes its legal obligations seriously, including on these topics. We have been tracking developments issued by the White House and Department of Education, as well as case law that governs the Third Circuit. Board policies are reviewed and approved by the board at board action meetings after consultation with legal counsel is needed and are not dictated by Dr. Gibson or any other member of the administration. Doesn't really tell me anything. Second response. In response to your questions, Pennsbury, like all public school districts, follows the Title IX regulations that are currently in effect and legally binding. At this time, federal guidance and regulatory requirements are subject to ongoing legal and policy developments, and districts must align their practices with most current enforceable standards. Because of this evolving landscape, it is not possible to provide a simple yes or no response without oversimplifying a complex legal matter. What I can assure you is that Pennsbury continues to review all applicable federal and state requirements, and we take our obligations under this authority seriously. It's not evolving, there is a policy in place. So our transgender policy as it reads from what I got off board docs, I could ask Dr. Delwich, but she won't answer me, but I assume this is the current policy. Restroom accessibility. Students shall have access to the restroom that corresponds to their gender identity consistently asserted at school. Locker room accessibility. In most cases, transgender students should have access to the locker room that corresponds to their gender identity consistently asserted at school, like all other students. In no case shall a transgender student be required to use a locker room that conflicts with the student's gender identity. The current policy. Under the current U.S. Department of Education Enforcement Directive, as of November 2025, a school policy that allows individuals to access sex-segregated spaces based on gender identity rather than biological sex is considered to be in violation of Title IX. The current administration has directed the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights to enforce the 2020 Title IX regulations, which interpret sex discrimination based on biological sex. The administration's policy is that allowing males to use female-only sensitive spaces like locker rooms and bathrooms endangers women's and girls' privacy and safety and denies them equal access to educational activities or programs. Dr. Smith, while there may be court challenges to this in the future, what does a district currently consider to be in force until the proceedings of these other cases that you're following are resolved, if they are different than what I just stated? Maybe Mrs. Aronson can clarify, but a yes or a no. It doesn't sound like our transgender policy is in compliance with current Title IX regulations. And I understand it may put federal funding for Pennsbury at risk. So I'm just looking for clarification. Thank you.
Do you want to show that to Tom? And the last speaker is Maria Boyce.
Hello. Maria Boyce, Falls Township. I could talk forever. There's a lot of things I can't address, but I'm just going to go until I get cut off. All right. Oh, no, I lost it. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Good evening. My name's Maria Boyce, and I'm a Pennsbury parent. My son is in 4th grade. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I have two main concerns tonight, both centered on student well-being, health, and age-appropriate education. Number one is food dyes, sugar levels, preservatives, and snack quality in school meals. Artificial dyes, especially red 3, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, have been consistently linked to behavioral and attention problems in many students. And in 2025, the FDA revoked authorization for red dye number 3 in foods. But it's not only in dyes. Many school breakfast and snack options contain very high sugar, seed oils, artificial flavors, and preservatives, which can contribute to energy crashes, mood swings, and difficulty focusing, all of which directly affect the classroom environment. I pack my son's lunch most days, but when you look at what's offered here in our schools, much, if not most, contain artificial dyes, and almost all contain those other concerning ingredients. For example, the breakfast board right outside of here, the room list for breakfast, these are the only options listed, are Lucky Charms, dyes, high sugars, preservatives like trisodium phosphate, which is a cleaner you can find in the paint aisle on aisle 3 in Lowe's. Chocolate Pop-Tarts, color-added artificial flavors, seed oils, strawberry cream cheese Fruitles, dyes, chocolate Fruitles, dyes, high sugar, seed oils. Those are the only options listed. These are not ideal choices for starting an academic day. The same is true of many of the a la carte items. Yogurts, granola bars, ice creams, and packaged snacks, and especially candy prizes used in classrooms. I've spoken with many parents who avoid dyes and preservatives because their children experience irritability, trouble focusing afterwards. This is not about a handful of just sensitive students. These ingredients affect a whole classroom behavior and learning readiness. And not every family has the ability to pack daily alternatives. Children shouldn't feel singled out just because they're trying to avoid unnecessary additives. My questions for the board and this administration on this subject is, does Pennsbury have standards for limiting artificial dyes, preservatives, and high sugar items in meals and snacks? Is there a plan to bring in dye-free, lower sugar additive-free alternatives before the 2027 deadline? Can teachers be encouraged to use dye-free, healthier reward options so students aren't excluded or negatively affected? I send in my son's own, but then the kids get jealous or he gets jealous, and it's and can clear ingredient lists be posted so parents can make informed choices, or flag it so their kid can't get it if they do decide to do it? This is about supporting a healthy, calm, focused learning environment for all students. Secondly, library content, age appropriateness, and curriculum transparency. My next concern is age appropriateness in our elementary school libraries and transparency around books that include romantic or gender identity themes. My son has brought home books with early romantic content or discussions about being gay or being trans. For example, Drama. It's a graphic novel written about 7th graders dealing with crushes and sexual identity, and is targeted for 9 to 10-year-olds. So I teach my son to respect every person. My concern is what is developmentally appropriate for elementary students and how these decisions are being made. My questions are, what criteria determine which books are suitable for elementary shelves? Where can parents view the full list of books available to their child for their grade level? And where can families review what, if anything, is taught about gender identity in elementary schools? At what age are these topics introduced, and how is this communicated to parents? In addition to understanding, I'm going to talk faster because I'm running out of time. In addition to understanding the criteria, I'd like to ask whether Pennsbury can implement a simple system to help parents guide their children's books choices. Some districts use a small sticker, symbol, or digital flag in the library catalog to indicate books have more mature themes, whether they're romantic content, questions about gender identity, or other sensitive subjects. This isn't about banning books, it's about transparency and parental involvement, so families can decide what is appropriate for their child's development. A simple marker would allow parents to say, these books you may read freely, and these are what I want you to wait on and talk to me first. I would also ask if there is a way that the parents can control that for their own child. Bathroom and locker rooms. I do not think men should be in girls' bathrooms, and I do not think girls should be in men's bathrooms for the safety of our children.
Thank you. Seeing no one else signed up for public comment, I'm going to close public comment at 9:21.
I would like to just take a moment to respond to our last speaker regarding the library books and the selection in the library. So I just want to do a little bit of research. I was just looking, and that's why I didn't hear that I was being a question was being asked. We have an administrative regulation that helps to guide the process for parents and what parents can do if they're concerned about the offerings in the library. In addition, we do have a system that we utilize to select books that are going to be placed in our library. It follows national standards that are part of what our librarians are exposed to and part of their own professional development and how they are knowledgeable about books that are out. So I would love the opportunity to just get back to you. If you wouldn't mind emailing me, I would be more than happy to send you the documents or to have a conversation with you. My email address is Okay, sure, of course. I'm on the website. You can find me on the website. But my email address is tricci@pensburysd.org. Sure, of course. And I'll review that information also at the Board Education Committee with Ms. Lambig's permission so that we can also get the content out to everyone. Thanks very much for your questions. I appreciate it.
And I can respond to the food-related comment. This has been an area of interest personally, but also for the Wellness Committee for several years. Been working with the nutrition group. I will say that the snack choices are not the ones that are same in stores. That being said, I think we all share a similar interest in lower sugar, lower additives in our school food for all of our students. The nutrition group knows that that's a priority for us, and they have been working with us. I would argue that over the last couple of years, the quality of food has improved, and our waste has gone down, and we're actually composting in one of our schools as a pilot, food waste. However, we are all committed to improving for our students. So stay tuned, there'll be more details with that.
And Dr. Smith, we'll also have to be in compliant with the National School Lunch Program.
I'd like to respond regarding the question around item 9C on the personnel files digitization project. What this project is focused on is turning the backlog of paper into electronic records. That's the whole point of digitizing it. Some of these records are rather old, and the ask was an increase of $2,160 from the previously approved amount of $2,689.95 as stated in the agenda that's available online. The reason for the discrepancy in cost has to do with an apparent disagreement over what constitutes a banker box. We told them the number of banker boxes we had. They gave us a price. They looked at our banker boxes and they said, oh no, that's another price. That's the reason for the discrepancy.
In regard to appraisals, just want to be clarified. Appraisals were last done in Bucks County in 1972, and it is done by the county and not by the school districts. The reason we are we've been asked by those two property holders to reduce their taxes, and so we have a firm that we work with to, and that's what we're approving tonight, so that we can go through that process so that we can respond appropriately and related to those tax appeals, and that's why we do this.
Now we move on to the business portion of the meeting. Do I have a motion to pull items 7C, donation from Chip Taylor and family, and 7M, purchase of the Gator utility vehicle from the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay.
Well, yeah, so.
Any discussion on pulling the items? We'll discuss the items.
Oh, okay, no. Can I also add a couple things that maybe we should pull too, if you don't mind, for discussion?
What items?
Okay, the 6C bucket truck, the 9C that Dr. Delwich was just talking about.
Do I have an amended motion?
Moved.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Second, okay. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Dr. Steer, do you wish to do both at once?
So we're going to, this is just to pull them from the
Just to
agenda.
pull them, I beg your pardon. Roll call to pull 7C and 7M.
7C,
9C.
7M, 6C, and 9C. It was amended.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ahrens,
Yes.
Dr. Delwich,
Yes.
Mr. Canaan,
Yes.
Ms. Lambing. Yes. Mrs. Palski,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Waldorf,
Yes.
Dr. Steer.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Do I have a motion to approve all of the remaining items in a consent agenda? I do want to point out that if the board approves agenda item 7I, the IBC agreement, the exhibits to that item will be properly signed and dated after board approval. The exhibits that were included were placeholders that would be signed once the motion is approved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. May we have a roll call vote for the consent agenda, please?
Mrs. Ahrens,
Yes.
Dr. Delwich,
Yes.
Mr. Cannon,
Yes.
Ms. Lambing. Mrs. Palski,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Waldorf,
Yes.
and Dr. Steer.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Do I have a motion to approve item 6C, purchase of a bucket truck?
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, what are we voting on?
Bucket truck.
Right now, we have a motion to approve the bucket truck, and now I'm going to open the floor to discussion for the bucket truck.
Okay.
So any discussion about purchasing the bucket truck?
Okay, so it's my understanding, speaking with staff, that we already have a bucket truck that is not in the best condition. So my question is, before we spend the money on a new bucket truck, are we trading in that truck? Are we going to try to fix it? Why do we need two bucket trucks? And how much is it?
Could I read the rationale for that purchase?
Sure.
The rationale for purchasing a new bucket truck. By purchasing a replacement for our aging bucket truck, the district is able to complete routine repairs and maintenance that would otherwise require a rental or outsourcing the job. The aging truck will be sold to help offset the cost.
Okay, that was my only question, because if we're going to buy a new one, because it sounds like we need a new one, I just want to make sure that we're also going to get some money for the old one, because, you know, it matters to me.
The current truck is 20 years old. It'll be sold on municipal.
On municipal,
And it's
I know they're
undergone-
having trouble with it, I've been told.
Yeah,
yeah.
undergone numerous repairs.
Yeah.
And it is a safety matter. I mean, if you're 25 feet in the air on a 20-year-old
Yeah,
bucket truck.
I've been told that it's unsafe, so I don't have an issue with buying a new one. I just want to make sure we're going to get some, we're going to recoup something on the old one.
We will.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we have a vote?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Ahrens,
Yes.
Dr. Delwich,
Yes.
Mr. Canaan,
Yes.
Ms. Lambing, Mrs. Palski,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Waldorf,
Yes.
and Dr. Steer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Do I have a motion to approve item 7C, donation from Chip Taylor and family?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Thanks, Chip.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chip.
Thank you, Chip.
Can I just interject? Mr. Taylor, can you just briefly state the reason for your recusal? And you may have been set to do that, so sorry if I jumped the gun.
No problem. I'm recusing myself because I am donating it. Thank you.
I'd like to add my thanks, Chip.
This at our finance committee, Dr. Smith mentioned that we're going to use this money as a prototype to do gardens across the.
We have a garden right behind me. It's
Right, no.
amazing, and we'd like to see, similar things happen at schools. So this will be Oxford Valley's first foray into it. Other schools have small gardens, and it's one thing to make a garden, but we need to promote maintenance and interest in it. So you start small, and you hope it grows. So
I thought that we were working with some organization. I apologize.
Correct, called Spearhead Project Earth, which again, Mr. Taylor connected us with. And they are going to be partnering with us as we expand our school garden project. Oxford Valley being the first, and we have a couple other volunteers for schools. We want to do 2 school gardens and outdoor classrooms a year, a slow and methodical rollout.
Thank you.
Mr. Gorski, may I have the vote?
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Ahrens?
Yes.
Dr. Delwich?
Yes.
Mr. Canaan?
Yes.
Ms. Lambing? Yes. Mrs. Palski?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
abstain.
Abstain. Thank you, sir. Mr. Waldorf?
Yes.
And Dr. Steer?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Again, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve item 7M, purchase of the Gator utility vehicle?
So moved.
Second.
Open the floor for discussion.
The only reason I asked for this item to be discussed is a question came up and you guys had an explanation, and this is something we looked at before, is why it would not be appropriate to look at an electric powered vehicle at this time. And I was hoping you guys could explain that.
Sure. So this is a dedicated security gator, so it will have doors. And the goal, just for background for everybody, is to have a quick vehicle that can maneuver around the high school campus quickly. It really came to light given our recent incident with, we had a person trespass on school property. So 2 things. One is the electric ones, at least the ones that we have I guess, an agreement with John Deere, or that's our preferred user, or preferred vendor, that they don't come in 4-wheel drive for an electric as of yet at this point. Second is there's worry about electric, if you're in hot pursuit of somebody really having that understanding of how much is left in terms of the tank for gas with it. So our hope, like everything, is to move towards being more sustainable, but this one, there was just a worry about that, the ability to run it all day, every day.
Right, I think that was the key from
Yep.
my understanding, is that the intention is to be in constant motion, which
Correct.
would not allow you time to charge it.
Correct.
In other circumstances, you're usually going, you could use a Gator to go to a spot, you park for a while, you come back, and there's opportunities to charge throughout the day, and this would not be the case with this vehicle.
And the amount of fuel that they use is so minimal. I mean, it's not even worth a question, really. They sip gasoline. It's got such a small motor, and
They do have exhaust fuel.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was all I was hoping we could discuss.
Great, thank you. Mr. Gorski, could we have the vote, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Ahrens?
Yes.
Dr. Delwich?
Yes.
Mr. Kennan?
Yes.
Ms. Lambing?
Yes.
Mrs. Palski?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Waldorf?
Yes.
And Dr. Steer?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And do I have a motion to approve item 9C, VRC personnel file digitization project?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
My only question is, Dr. Delwich, so when you you're talking about the cost of it, and you told them what we had, and then they had a discrepancy on what we had, so I guess my question is, should we rebid it, or are we just gonna give them what they want, or I don't understand what the dilemma is on that.
Dr. Gibson?
This is a human resources scanning project, so the initial scan that we proposed to them was for 8 boxes of records, and that's part of a cyclical record retention process for digitizing that we're working through. And the initial proposal, the discrepancy was in the size of the boxes. So we sent the scanning materials in boxes that were larger than what we were quoted for. So that's the discrepancy in the price.
Okay, so we're just gonna go with that, or we're gonna rebid it, or?
So the plan was to move forward with the existing project.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, the total amount on the project is less than $5,000, so I'm not sure it's worth the effort to rebid it.
And the records have already been sent. They're already off-site at the digitization.
Yeah, I guess my issue with it is, the only issue I have with it is that there was an agreement, and then they kind of went back on that agreement, and we just went, oh, okay. And maybe it is under $5,000, but that's still $5,000.
It's not that they just said, oh, no, we want more money. It's that there was an ambiguity about what constitutes a banker box.
I think technically the concern was that we sent more records than what we intended, or what they quoted us for.
Okay.
So we sent double the records essentially, and the discrepancy was in the box sizes that we used when we sent them.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Mr. Gorski.
Thank you. Ms. Ahrens?
Yes.
Dr. Delwich?
Yes.
Mr. Canaan?
Yes.
Ms. Lambing? Yes. Mrs. Palski?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Waldorf?
Yes.
And Dr. Steer?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I'd like to open the floor for board discussion for any old business or comments for the good of the community.
I have a couple things. I want to make public that 10A, under our Wellness Committee, is a grant and does not cost the taxpayer any money for our employee wellness that we're focused on. Just if there's any questions about that, it does not cost the taxpayer anything. Next, Mrs. Boyce, who spoke, I'd like to invite you to come to one of our wellness meetings. They're the, second Thursday at 3:45 at Charles Bain.
4 o'clock.
Second Thursday?
First. December 4th at 4 p.m., Charles Bay Middle School.
And then you can hear December the 4th at 4 o'clock. And then you can hear for yourself, what we all discuss with our nutrition group and everything. Next, I also have been getting, some of my constituents want to know when their Act 34 hearing questions will be answered by, I guess they're answered by the architectural firm. And I want to ask Dr. Delwich something. Were you talking about landscape items being donated or something? What did I miss?
No, we're talking about establishing a policy that better delineates who will be responsible for the item and its future maintenance. Dr. Smith, do you want to expand on this?
Sure. Our PTOs have been incredibly generous over the years regarding donations to our schools. However, at this point, we're having conversations about the types of donations and the long-term maintenance of those. So a PTO might do wonderful landscaping in the front of the school and keep it up for a couple of years, but as they move on, is our facilities department capable of keeping that up? And so that's really some of the challenges that we've been having, and additionally, some of the selections of the landscape items. There's been a movement, I think, on some board members to move towards more native species too. with that, so they're easier to maintain. So we have an agreement to understand what's being planted and who will take care of it in the long term.
This has been a problem for years, which is why I started doing the flower beds, because there was I guess, parents whose children were graduating were planting shrubs and ivy, and then when their child leaves school, then nobody maintains it. So it's been a problem for years. I just wanted to, I just thought I heard wrong what she said. And on a personal note, I appreciate that Mr. Allen came here when he gave our auditor report and explained publicly why there was a delay. I mean, the man has been taking his lumps on this, and I'm starting to feel a little sorry for him, because everybody's angry about it. But personally, I appreciate that he was clear about what happened and why, and, what the dilemma was and why it was held up, and, I don't know, I just think I have a lot of people that were questioning that, and now everybody knows. So if he left, but if he's listening, I appreciate it.
It was statewide. The tech school just got theirs as well, so.
Yeah, that's why
it was-
I
it was a
said it
problem
wasn't
statewide.
just us that didn't do our audit, and so the fact that he explained it, and, and like I said, I feel bad because he's been taking lumps all over the state, and, at least now everybody understands what the problem was. So, anyway, that was it. I just had a question about those couple things.
Just one quick happy note. Last week, I attended Veterans Day observances at Penwood, Charles Payne, Corey Hill, Oxford Valley, and Walt Disney. I just wanted to thank those schools for including me to give me the opportunity to honor our veterans. Thank you.
I wanted to give one shout out to the Charles Bame teachers and students who came to do the presentation tonight. I think that's the first time that we've had an inclusive report, and I love what they're doing at that school. Can someone share the names again of the teachers with me? I'd like to send them, a note of thanks.
We received an invitation to attend a new tradition at one of the schools, and I apologize, Dr. Smith, to put you on the spot. I don't remember which school is doing a gingerbread as a whole day of activities. Walt Disney. Walt Disney's doing that. And is that open to the public or just Walt Disney families? I apologize. Just Walt Disney families. I received a letter, I assume other people did, from ShopRite on Friday, December 5th at 11 a.m. As part of the the sesquicentennial 250th celebration of America. The organizing committee is doing bells across Pennsylvania, and the Bucks County Bell is going to be unveiled at the ShopRite and be on display. So that is open to the whole community on December 5th at 11 a.m. So I hope people can come out because it's here, which is nice, in our backyard.
I also wanted to thank the Disney family for their their continued connection and support of the Walt Disney Elementary School. It's pretty amazing that the collaboration has gone over 3 generations for over the last 70 years. And the connection with the Disney family has truly made our school a magical place.
For in honor of our former board member, Jim Prokopiak, I did want to shout out that his office is doing a food collection as well that they'll be taking over. So if anyone in Falls Township who wants a convenient place to drop off a couple boxes of stuffing or another non-perishable food, you can just bring it by the state rep's office.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night. Thank you for coming out and thank you for staying.